All right, let's learn how to do this step once and for all correctly. The whisk is a beautiful element. So we'll start off with the steps, first as the man, then as the lady. Okay, so with the steps, I will just say which foot you're going to use and the easiest way to remember how to do it. Okay, so we start off by going forward, to the side, slightly forward, and then cross behind. That's the man steps. All right, so gentlemen, one more time. You're going forward, to the side and slightly forward, and then cross behind. All right, you will lower late. Now, ladies, you'll go back, pay attention to how we're going to use the feet here. Okay, so I'm going to go back, diagonally back, and then I'm going to cross behind. All right, then lower late. So one more time. So, ready? And do-do-do-do. There we go. And so, back, diagonally back, and then cross behind, then lower. Okay? Now, let's get into the next part of this. And we're going to practice it. So the way to practice this is just to go through the steps bit by bit. So you can just say it as the man, you know, forward, side, cross. And as the lady, you can go back, diagonal, cross. Notice the position I'm finishing in. This is called promenade. One of the first times you'll do it if you're a beginner, so make sure you stay at the end so I can teach you how to do that properly. Okay, so ladies, one more time, you'll go back, diagonal, cross behind. All right, now notice the cross itself, don't overdo it. Gentlemen, ready? And forward, side, cross. All right, how are you going at home? You got 20 seconds on the clock to do as many as you can. I don't care if you're at work, right? Get up off your chair and start whisking, all right? If you're a lady and you're like looking around you in the cafe, just do a little subtle whisk, all right, as you sip your tea, all right? No one's gonna watch, but you'll get better. Boom. Okay, so footwork, right? Let's get into that. So we go heels and toes for the footwork. So pay attention because we have a nice rise coming through from the standing leg. So I'm going to use my left foot as the man, going forward. So heel, toe, toe, and then toe, then heel. And then you would come out, of course, on a heel for the next step. Now, ladies, you'll be going back, toe, heel, toe, whoop, 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 then toe, heel. Let's try that again, ready? And so we go toe, heel, toe, then toe, heel. That's the way to do it, right? I held it a little too long. I was up in the clouds for too long. All right, one more time. Ready? So heel, toe, 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 heel. All right, and then as the gentleman's done, the lady can now go and toe, heel, toe, then swing it behind, toe, heel. Now, gentlemen, let me do it this way for you because I know I've been going the other way. So follow with me. Heel, toe, toe, then toe, heel. And now we're going to put it over to you to practice. Cool, keep coming with me, right? So we'll do another 60 seconds, just pounding it through. Just this time it's all the emphasis on blending the steps and the footwork, okay? So of course going forward first for the gentleman. So heel, toe, 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 heel. And then ladies, ready? Toe, heel, toe, toe, heel. All right, now let's go one more time. Here we go, and get yourself ready. Nice posture, hold your bodies up, brace yourself at the waist. Good frame always. Here we go, and gentlemen, heel, toe, 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 heel. And then you can step out if you want to just practice that next bit. And then ladies, your turn. Ready, you're going to go right foot back, and toe, heel, toe, toe, heel. All right, and okay, same for you. You can step forward at the end of that if you wish. How did you go? Keep it going, couple more, let's go. Now the timing of this, very straightforward, waltz time, 1, 2, 3. Although there is an important way to use the timing, which I'll talk about at the end, so make sure you stay to the end of this video so I can actually teach you a beautiful way to dance this figure once you've got the basics. Okay, so first things first, we step forward on 1, rise at the end of it. You step to the side and slightly forward on 2, and then on 3, I want you to cross behind and just hold it there just for a second, then lower, and then step forward on 1. All right, so it's always good. One of the teaching tips I can give you is that when we were coming up in dancing, is that when you finish a movement, you don't want to stay up on your toes. You want to lower, but also take the next step, right? And that just trains you to have a good body position, okay? So always remember that as a little teaching tip for balance as a partner. Now, let's do it for the lady, right? So you're going to be going back, and very important, when you go back, ladies, here on 1, you take a step diagonally on 2, and then cross behind on 3, all right? Now, again, same for you. You're in promenade now. Lower the back heel, and then step forward on 1, okay? That's how you're going to come out of it. So 1, 2, 3. Let's practice that together. Here we go. All right, ready for the practice session? Let's go. So we're going to do it just the straight teaching count, then we'll do it to some music together, all right? So get ready to sweat your face off. It's 1:20, but this is the best exercise you'll ever do. So this one, we're just doing the straight timing. Here we go, ready? And 1, 2, 3, 1. Right, ladies? And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1. Right, let's go one more time. This time's the gentleman. So forward on the left foot, gentlemen. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 1. Ladies, your turn. Ready? Here we go up on the right foot. Boom, get in frame. And 1, 2, 3, 1. That's the idea. Always make sure to articulate your feet and to have soft legs when you do this movement. All right, let's do it to music. All right, I'm going to do a few and then I'll get you to just continually practice, and you can always repeat this. Ready? Men. 1, 2, 3, 1. All right, now ladies. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, now gentlemen, let's do it again. Ready? We'll go this way. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, ladies, your turn. I'll dance it this way. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. Then you chasse out. All right, let's go one more time. 1, 2, 3, 1. Then you're ready to go. All right. Now let's see you do it. By the way, send me a video of you doing this. It'd be very cool to see. All right, let's go one more time because I need to be a good lady today. I'm feeling a bit off balance. Woof! And I have no partner to blame. Ha ha! 1, 2, go. 1, 2, 3, 1. There we go. Who's a good girl? I am. All right, so thank you. All right, I'm here all day. So I'm going to give you 3 tips now on how to nail this every time. Okay, this is really important to understand for both the man and lady. Okay, because there's lots of mistakes that are made. Now, in the footwork and the steps and the timing, there's another column in dancing that is often not understood or talked about very greatly, and that is called foot positions. Foot positions is one foot in relation to another, right? So if you go forward on the left foot, it's because it's in relation to the right foot, right? So that's forward. So when you do step 2 of a whisk, ladies, here's the mistake most people make. They will go back, 1, they'll take a step to the side on 2, like this, okay? See the foot's turned there, and as they cross, they will swivel. Now, there are 3 types of basics whisks, right? So this whisk itself, there's 3 versions. Version 1, the one we're doing today, is essentially just to go down the line of dance. That's sort of where we work, but we can also go diagonal to center, and the other 2 go around the corner, all right? So that's the way to think of your whisk. It just turns a corner. So that actually changes the foot position itself. And so the foot position matters because it tells you what you're doing. Now, at a basic level, the actual whisk, your foot should turn in. Hear what I just said. You turn your foot in. So as I go back on step 2, right, diagonally back, turn the foot in. You can't see it there. Turn it in. See, that's to the side there. Now, the reason for that, if I do it again, back in, is because you should be pointing diagonal to the center. And why is that important? Because when you want to go into promenade, a swivel can throw your body off, right? It can actually cause you to over-rotate, and then you lose balance. So part of the first problem, I should say, we're trying to conquer here is getting into a good promenade position. Okay, so basically do this. On step 2, turn the toe in just a little bit as the lady, all right? Gentlemen, you don't need to do that, all right? You just basically take a side step, and I'll talk about you in a second. Ladies, when we want to do a good promenade position, here's what I want you to think of. Are you ready? Sunrise, sunset. That was terrible. Sunrise. You know that Perry Como song? I think that's Perry Como. Anyway, I digress. Sunrise, sunset. I'm never singing. I can't believe I'm live. Like, I can't like take that out. Anyway, so think of sunrise, sunset. Now, what does that mean? When you first learn to dance, and even if you're an experienced dancer, going into promenade is one of those positions that can just cause headaches, okay? So let's say your normal poise, right? So your posture and poise. And poise is that left curve for the ladies, all right? Elbows are level to the ground, head is to the left. Now, there is my poise. You are at sunrise, okay? You're coming up to sunrise, you turn to promenade, there, sunset, okay? And then you need to go from sunset to sunrise, right? So what's happening is the head itself is rotating, right? I left my new long hair out today to show you my lady, right? So I've got that coming through my upper body, but my frame isn't gonna open, like I'm not gonna change my arm line, right? My arm line's gonna remain the same, and I wanna be able to curve through that. Now, as we do counts 2 and 3 going into promenade, that is where you will articulate the movement. You'll make it beautiful, okay? So you're back on 1. Remember to turn the toe in on 2. Your head is still to the left. Now between count 2 here and 3, when you go high onto your toes, you are going to slowly turn your head between 2 and 3 and then cross behind. And notice now you're in promenade, then you can lower and then step forward. So again, the mistakes are so common across the board that it's very easy to rush, right? 1, 2, and then 3, and you turn the head too quickly. So always use beats 2 and 3 in waltz to turn beautifully into promenade using that sunrise, sunset. And you always want to feel you're lifting up through your waist, turning through the upper body, right? And then the head is there. Now, who is doing this? The man is actually leading it, but the man does not shape you. The man follows your shape, right? Well, I should say the man does shape you. I want to clarify this. This is a very complicated idea in the early stages of dancing, but fundamentally, you want to make sure that the man's hand, the right hand here, actually follows the lady's back. He doesn't like turn you into promenade, okay? So when you're doing a whisk, gentlemen, you don't go 1, 2, and turn the wrist 3, for example, okay? You actually follow her back because of the way you shape your own body into the whisk. And the lady also follows that. So it's sort of like I go, and I follow you. That's a basic concept of leading and following. In any case, if we just come back to that first idea, what are we doing? Sunrise, sunset, and that's in relation to your feet and of course the music. Okay. Now, what did I put there? Oh, the second step, the men's body. So I want to talk about the man's body in the whisk for a second. Okay, let's look at the whisk as an idea. It is very common when we're going into promenade position for the man to completely ruin his body, right? To screw it up. How does he screw it up? That's an amazing question. And now, ladies, you're going to have perfect ammunition at your next lesson, all right? So what happens, gentlemen, is often, okay, so that's diagonal to wall. There's the line of dance for reference, okay? So I'm going forward on 1. Now, often men, when they go into a whisk, when they take that second step there, they'll end up keeping their body in that position as they cross behind. Now, you can see, it might be hard to see, but that's my left side. It's 2 turned out. It needs to remain turned towards my partner. Another way to think of it is just keep your body diagonal to wall. So as I'm dancing this, I can go 1, 2, keeping my body and frame here, and then cross behind on 3. I actually want to turn my left side towards my lady. That tells her to go into promenade. Then we can lower and step forward. So the left side, here is another tip. I'm just coming out with tips all day, so thank you for staying in. This is the benefit you get. I never know what I'm going to say till I turn up. I'm going to give you another really important rule of ballroom dancing for you gentlemen. If your turns stink, or you are not good at going into promenade, or you can't lead the lady very well, you have to look at the left side of your body. All right, the left side of your body actually tells the lady where, not tells, but if you disconnect the left side by pulling it back, for example, you won't be able to lead at all or very effectively. So often in turns, or say in this whisk, for example, that left side turning the wrong way makes us go hip to hip, which we never want to feel in promenade. We don't want to be literally hip to hip, right? That's going to be too open. We'll create a V that's too wide. So the left side should be more towards the lady, and that way she can remain in contact with your right side. okay? That's very important because you have less turnout than the lady. When the lady's doing promenade, her body has to open out to help form the V. So she will turn out more through her upper body, through her hips, all right? That's important to note, but you don't do the same degree, all right? Otherwise, you're gonna be too open. And going into promenade is more of a sideways action than a forward action. And that's what you have to think about. When you're coming out of the whisk, you're in promenade, you don't want to be stepping forward, right? You need to be stepping and thinking sideways and then, into the next movement. Okay, so a lot of good tips there for you to think about, to keep coming back to. There's a third one though. So we have sunrise, sunset for the lady, right? Sunrise, boom, boom. And then for the gentleman, we have making sure that our body remains with our partner, keep it the same alignment, and keep the left side towards the lady. The third thing, are you ready for it? Are you ready? Because you're here. I can't hear you. It's because you're in a studio online. Anyway, here's the third tip. Third tip is lower late. So I'll give you an example of why I see some demonstrations that I think, I'm not a perfect dancer, okay? I think I'm a good dancer. That's about it, right? There are way better dancers than me in the world. But here's the thing that I notice. I'm a technician, right? I study dance like a mad scientist, and I have done for like 20 years, right? So I love technique. And it's very easy to see how things can go wrong, right? We were raised to dance correctly versus winning a competition, okay? And I think that's really good grounding to understand because then you dance beautifully rather than just trying to make everything look beautiful but probably feel terrible, right? So if you lower early, 1, 2, 3, right? See how I'm sitting? Now you end up pushing very heavily out of the step. There's no swing that can be created from that, all right? So what we want to do in a whisk is think of the heel. So when you hear toe heel on that third step, toe, then heel of that third step, if I lower late, what that allows me to do, and what it actually means is by lowering late is I lower right towards the end of count 3, not at the beginning of 3. So I don't go 3, I go 3, and then 1 can happen and I can swing out. It is important your heel does lower. So if I just bring up the other camera for a second, this is fun. Are you having fun? This is awesome doing this live. And hello, Wayne. Hello, Farah. Nice to have, oh, no, you guys are awesome, man. Nice to see you here. All right, so I'll show you what I mean again. One more, here we go. All right, so lowering late, let's lower early. 1, 2, 3. Right, see, I just plonked and lost my balance. Not good, not good. Right, so 1, 2, then I cross, and then lower late means as I start to lower, I'm gonna create that swing out of it. Now you will 100% feel that if you understand the concept, right? So rather than going 1, 2, drop, which you'll see often happen, and again, 1, 2, let the legs open. This is also not good, right? Using a toe. I don't know why people go onto a toe. It's not a toe, right? As you lower, you've got to go onto a heel straight away, right? So make sure you don't do any weird like Magoo legs, all right? You don't want to look like this, that's Latin, right? So we lower late at the very last bit of 3. So 1, 2, lowering late 3, then swing out of it and off you go. You will definitely notice a difference. It doesn't matter what level you are. Now, ladies, you do the same thing. So 1, you're turning in, 3, 1, 2, and off you go into a chasse or whatnot, okay? Now, does that make sense? Let me know. Right up below, what do you think? Okay, so lowering late. So 3 tips, sunrise, sunset. We have our man's body remaining with the partner, turning it to the left to help her turn. And then the third one is both of you practicing lowering late. Provided you're in a good promenade position, meaning the lady, this is my right pocket, okay, here. In promenade, the lady should be on my pocket, not in line with my hips. So if I've done a good whisk, if this is my lady, this white phone here, right? If I do a good whisk, right there, boom. She should remain on my right side. Not back behind me, not that she could, certainly not in front of me. So when I step, if I step forward, I need to make sure that her body is actually here, right? Her legs are under mine, not in front of mine. And that's precisely how we work a good promenade position out of the whisk. Okay, now you thought this would be like a simple lesson. There's a lot in this because often if you're a beginner dancer, this is the first time you go into promenade and it's the first time you come out and close again. So we'll pay attention to this step, but also remember we have a left whisk we can do. We have a fall away whisk, which is fantastic, a fall away whisk from promenade. We have an advanced figure called the extended whisk, which I can't wait to bring you because it's a beautiful step and I don't really see anyone teaching it. We have stationary pivots into a whisk. And now last week, what did we do? Double reverse spin, right? So the double reverse spin, go back and watch that because the double reverse spin is a wonderful way to get into this figure. And as you go back into this video, you'll see the demonstration of that very clearly. Okay, I want to thank you for being here. I'll leave this back to you to practice. Remember to check out ballroommastery.tv and .com for our exciting, amazing new membership where there's community, there's live in-depth coaching once a month with me. I get to answer your questions and help champion you on. Community will get behind you. Plus, we have huge courses with over 800 videos detailing content. So if you thought this was valuable, wait till you get inside that. In any case, thank you for being here. This is Vaughan, and I'm going to tune this out, and I will see you next Tuesday for another figure.